Welcome to Spokane Cooks, here in Spokane, of course. My name is Leroy Payne. I'm going to be your chef today. What we're going to be doing is we're honoring a local name that was around, Dorothy Dean. Some of you are familiar with her. It was a program that the Spokesman-Review had where they brought up recipes and cooked for everybody. Or they didn't cook, they brought up recipes that you at home could easily cook. They've started that program over again, and every Wednesday, the Spokesman-Review is now putting those recipes out and starting the program again. What we're going to be doing here today, I am going to fix one of Dorothy Dean's recipes, one of her favorite recipes. It's a very simple dish. It's a one-pot dish, which I like. It makes it really quick and easy. It's her Enchilada Casserole, made with a little bit of a twist, and we're going to show you that now. What we're going to start off with, I have in my pan, I'm going to make her enchilada sauce. It's fairly simple. What we've done is just taken 2 8-ounce cans of tomato sauce, put those in the pan. I am going to put 1/4 teaspoon of cumin in the sauce. Just a little bit of cumin, so 1/4 teaspoon of cumin. That might have been a little bit more, but it's close enough. I like to overdo things. You can ask anybody that knows me. Then we're going to put a whole teaspoon of chili powder in. Now, I suppose if you didn't want to follow her recipe, you could easily go buy some enchilada sauce, but I'm going to follow her recipe, and by the way, it does turn out quite well. So there's the chili sauce, or chili powder, I'm sorry. That goes in the pan. We're going to put it over here on the heat. Let it just heat up, mostly just to combine. It's done now, but we do want to heat it and combine it up a little bit. So we'll do that. I'm sorry. Grab a spoon and just stir those seasonings into the sauce. We're going to be using that in just a few moments. Now what I've also done, I've already taken a pound, a little over a pound, because once again I like to overdo things. I've taken a pound is her recipe of ground beef, and I've used 80-20 ground beef. What that means is that you've got 80% beef, 20% fat. So if you go to the store and you buy 70-30, you're getting 70% ground beef, 30% fat, and so on. But I like the texture or the flavor that the fat gives us in that ground beef. So that is what we've got here. I've just simply grilled it or cooked it, drained it out, and so we have the ground beef to start with our dish. So what we do next, I'm going to grab my 2-quart pan baking dish, and I'm going to use some of my spray, my no stick spray, or you can just simply grease your casserole dish. Spray that up nice and slick, because I'm slick. Spray that up. Then what we're going to do, this is where it kind of gets really different, and I love this little angle she's got on this. We're going to start with plain old corn chips. Instead of tortillas, we're just going to use corn chips. So I'm going to start the bottom of this dish with just a nice layer of corn chips. Then what we're going to do, we're going to take half of our ground beef. We're simply going to layer that in here. Just nice. Now, I've got to be careful because, you know, I like to overdo things. If I overdo it too much, it won't all fit in the dish. But we are going to get that in here. I don't know if any of you are now following Dorothy Dean, but like I said earlier, they're coming out every Wednesday with a lot of different dishes. I would recommend that you follow that, look into that. It is a great segment. Next thing I want to do, take scallions or green onions. We're going to cut these up to put them in. But what I want to do first of all is cut the roots off. And then I am going to use the entire scallion or entire onion for this dish. So all we're going to do is simply dice these up. Did you guys know, you probably did, the reason the knives are rounded like that? So they can roll on your cutting board and cut. Makes it a little bit easier. So we just simply do this, bring it all the way down to where we're in the green, Because you know how it is these days. Everybody wants to be in the green. That wasn't funny. But we got it in the green anyway. So we're going to cut these all up nice and fine. It's going to give such a great flavor to this dish. So there we go. We've got this cut up. Let me quickly stir my sauce a little bit. It is now ready. All I had to do is bring that heated up so I would blend those sauces. So we'll shut that down. Then what I'm going to do, take your casserole dish, put it back up here. Half your onions. Now I like to mix them up so you don't get all whites on one layer and greens on the next. So just mix that up. Take about half of those onions, scatter them on top of the dish. I tell you, this one pot dish item casseroles, I just love it. Especially for you busy people coming home, don't have a lot of time to cook. You can make this ahead the day before, put it in the fridge if you want, take it out, throw it in the oven, and in just a matter of 45 minutes you have dinner. So we've got that on. Now I'm going to put half a can of 3 or 4 ounce sliced olives. We're going to put half the can of olives in. Scatter those around. And then we're going to top that with one of my favorite ingredients. Cheese. Everything's better with cheese. What I'm using here, according to her recipe, and I stick with it, it's a sharp cheddar cheese. One thing I do suggest, when you get your cheese, you can buy it already shredded in the bag if you like. However, it has anti-clumping agents in it, which it doesn't hurt anything. It just will not allow the cheese to melt and get that stringy melted cheese that we all like. So I always buy my cheese, cheaper too, and just shred my own cheese. Keep it in a Ziploc baggie and then pull it out as you need it when you need it. So we're going to put a layer of cheese down here. Because cheese is cheese. Everybody loves cheese. And more. So we got our cheese down. Now we're going to do is put half of our enchilada sauce down. So all I'm going to do is just spread a nice half a coating of the enchilada sauce and spread it around. Personally, I'm not going to change this dish. If you wanted to, you could go easy and just go buy a can of enchilada sauce. I would throw in some pepper flakes, maybe some jalapenos, but it's not her recipe, so we're going to hold off on that this time. So there's our first layer. Next thing we do, more corn chips. So we just put another good little layer of corn chips down. And you probably know what comes next, don't you? Ground beef. So I'm going to scatter another nice helping of ground beef on here, because everything's good with cheese, ground beef. What I might do with this is another idea. Make your ground beef, mix a little bit of taco seasoning in there, and put that in here. Give you just a little bit more of a Mexican type of fling to the flavor of the dish. So we've got that last layer of beef down. Actually, this might be my beef for a taco for later. Put that layer down. Another layer of onion on the top of that. Another layer, the rest of those olives. Top of that. And the rest of my cheese. So, put another layer of cheese on here. I put a fair amount because, once again, more is better. Not always, by the way. But I do like cheese, so we're going to put an extra amount of cheese on there. Then, we're going to top that off with the balance of that enchilada sauce that we made, Dorothy Dean style. Put that on nice and even so you can get that all down inside all of the enchilada casserole. Once you're done with your sauce, we're going to cap it off with one last thing. And it's not cheese. That's not a bad idea. So we're going to cap this off with one more little layer of corn chips. And then, there you go. There is the enchilada casserole, Dorothy Dean's recipe. What we do next, put this in an oven, 350 degrees for 45 minutes. When it's all done, I have one prepared for you. It looks like this. All finished, cheese is melted, that sauce is in those chips. You've got yourself a beautiful, beautiful casserole dish. Now this is only gonna feed about 6 people. Of course, if you wanted, you could bump this up to cook for more people. But I tell you what, this makes nice serving for 4 to 6 people. I think it's a good dish for 4 people. Or if I'm really hungry, it's for me. But we will dish this up. So simply take a nice big scoop out of it. Something else I would add to this, which is not in the original recipe. Man, look at that steaming hot. The cheese is melted. I would add some sour cream. Maybe some salsa to that. Get that in there. And you can see it's gone through the corn chips. All that sauce is down there. You got the olives, you got the cheese. And just take a nice big bite of that. Son, that is good food. Try this at home and you'll realize you need to follow Wednesdays, the Spokesman-Review, Dorothy Dean. Great, simple recipes. Bon appetit.